इनिशियली इकोनॉमिक आया, इकोनॉमिक से पब्लिक हेल्थ में आया, पब्लिक हेल्थ से आईसीटी में आया, आईसीटी से नाउ इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट योर फोर्थ इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन व्हिच इज आवर एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी, आवर आईएमटी कॉरिडोर, आवर आसियान, एवरीथिंग विल गेट impacted negatively by this instability. Myanmar and China were also thinking of forming a economic corridor. Whosoever is a guest on Republic Day, there is generally a question based on that country also.
Click to subscribe to the channel and then press the bell icon to get regular updates of videos, live sessions and important seminars.
India-Myanmar will be doing India-Myanmar. Last class, whatever we have done, is it clear? Last class we have done China, Pakistan, South Korea, neighborhood we have done. So we are doing neighborhood. So today we will do first India-Myanmar and then ASEAN. ASEAN is also important because ASEAN leaders were they were invited for Republic Day. So they were the guests on Republic Day 2018, and whosoever is a guest on Republic Day, there is generally a question based on that country also. So ASEAN we will be doing today, Myanmar, ASEAN, then BIMSTEC is another organization. Okay. Then in the neighborhood we will be doing Nepal also. There have been little developments in Nepal. Bhutan, Doklam we have already done. So not much to do in Bhutan, things are okay right now with Bhutan. With Bangladesh also, nothing substantial from current perspective has been there in the last 1 year. It was only Sheikh Hasina had come to India, and that time the most hype thing was your Teesta deal, which has yet to be signed, है ना. और अभी जो है वहाँ पे बांग्लादेश में इलेक्शन ईयर है, तो नथिंग अभी कुछ हो नहीं रहा, they are busy in their own country right now. So we will be doing the neighborhood, then neighborhood में neighborhood first policy. Neighborhood first policy has been the prime policy, one of the major policies of the present government. So there might be a question related to neighborhood first policy, how is it working, where are we lacking, what could be done. Okay, neighborhood first policy. So one by one we will take all these things. So ASEAN, BIMSTEC, then इसके बाद जो है और क्या इस बार हुआ है, BRICS summit हुआ है ना, 10 years हुए हैं BRICS summit. We will be doing the analysis of BRICS also. So these things. So first let's talk about Myanmar. Why is Myanmar important to us? Lucas policy, okay. Rohingya issue, yes. So with respect to Myanmar, Myanmar is very, very important to us because we share boundary with Myanmar. 4 northeastern states, they share boundary with Myanmar, है ना. Myanmar के साथ हमारे 4 northeastern states की boundaries हैं. इसके अलावा जो हमारा look east policy है, उसके लिए Myanmar is very important, and it's also the gateway towards your ASEAN countries, है ना. And ASEAN countries are very important for your Act East policy. So Myanmar, from that perspective, it is very important. Then we have porous borders, insurgency का है आपका, है ना. NSIN जो है आपकी, वहाँ से जो है नेशनल सोशलिस्ट काउंसिल ऑफ नागालैंड, मेनी ऑफ देम आर हैविंग देयर हेडक्वार्टर्स इन म्यांमार, उनके बेसेस हैं. फिर क्रॉस बॉर्डर आपका इन्फिल्ट्रेशन के केसेस आते हैं म्यांमार से. देन अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, Myanmar is important for your BCIM corridor that we have talked about in the class. Then Sitwe project, Kaladan project, how can you miss on that? Then IMT corridor, India-Myanmar Thailand trilateral highway that we are talking about. ठीक है, तो Myanmar is very, very important. And then Myanmar is on the golden triangle. ठीक है, golden triangle क्या है, क्लास में हमने किया है. Golden triangle is your Laos, Myanmar, Thailand and Laos. It's the route for your drug trafficking, ठीक है, तो वहाँ से आपकी ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग. सो म्यांमार इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू इंडिया. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, बिकॉज दिस इज अ करंट क्लास, so we will be discussing what has happened in the past 1 year or 1.5 year. So what are the major highlights that have happened with respect to Myanmar in last 1 year? Rohingya is okay. Okay, Rohingya is one issue. Then apart from that, free movement regime is there, okay. What else? That is the new constitution in Myanmar. तो 2 साल हो गए उसको आए हुए. मिलिट्री जनता जो है आपका वहाँ पे उनका जो है, उसके बाद जो पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी वहाँ पे आई है. इज इट 100% डेमोक्रेसी देयर इन म्यांमार? 25% of the states are still with Janta government. So what has happened in the last 1 year with respect to Myanmar is, has Indian Prime Minister visited Myanmar in the last 1 year? Huh? Yes, Indian Prime Minister has visited Myanmar. So some of the few important things which has happened in the last 1 year is, there has been the visit by Prime Minister to Myanmar and some important MOUs have been signed there. And apart from that, in November 2017, India has trained Myanmar military officers in India. Okay, that has been there. And then what has happened is, December 2017, Myanmar and China were also thinking of forming a economic corridor, Myanmar-China economic corridor. That was also in the news. Okay? Myanmar-China economic corridor, if it happens, then again China will be very close to India. Okay? Myanmar-China economic corridor, that was also there. And the latest thing that we have discussed while we were doing Indian Ocean region also was that now Myanmar is asking China to cut down its investments in the port development in Myanmar, which is a positive sign to us. If you could recall, जो हमने IOR वाला किया था, IOR में हमने कहा था कि म्यांमार में जो China investment कर रहा है in the port which is very close to your Indian Ocean, there now Myanmar is asking China to cut down its stakes because of the example of Hambantota and others. So now that is also a positive sign towards for us, okay, for Myanmar. Now, Myanmar, these were the latest things that have happened. So, what is another thing that is your Rohingyas? What is this Rohingya issue? Because it's a current thing, no? Last year also Rohingya. Who are these Rohingyas? What is the issue with respect to Rohingyas? कहाँ ये पढ़ा आपने? नहीं पढ़ा था लेकिन कहाँ? अच्छा, yes. What is the? Who are these Rohingyas? Were they never the citizens of Myanmar? See, if you see the history, this Rohingya जो है province, Rakhine province was independent for many years. Then it came under Burma. Then it came under your British rule. And what has happened is 1948 when Burma, the present Myanmar, became independent, and since then they have been facing some problem. And then when military government was there in Myanmar, they have faced lot of problems. And in 1982, they have been devoid of the citizenship of Myanmar. Earlier they were the citizens of Myanmar, but 1982 के बाद उनसे citizenship ले ली गई. So that is why now they are not the citizens of Burma, Myanmar, and Bangladesh is not claiming them to be their citizens. That is why they are called your stateless people. Okay? So Myanmar says they are not our citizens, they are the illegal migrants from Bangladesh. And Bangladesh says that no, they have never been our citizens, they were your citizens. You have stripped them of their citizenship in 1982. So that is why the issue is there, that is why they are called the stateless people. Now that is the issue with respect to Myanmar. So what is India's stand? How has India reacted to this Rohingya issue? Okay. See, with respect to this issue, Rohingya issue, India did not say anything to Myanmar nor to Bangladesh. India's stand is that this is a bilateral issue between two countries. ठीक है, ये bilateral issue है, so they need to solve it by themselves. We did not interfere in that. But yes, since Rohingya crisis is a humanitarian crisis, so in the last year, in the last 1 year, we have been providing assistance to these migrants in Bangladesh. Operation Insaniyat that we have conducted. आपने पढ़ा भी होगा. तो हम जो है, हमने हमारा official stand is कि since it's a bilateral issue between these two countries and we are not interfering in this. We are looking forward for a peaceful solution to this crisis, and since it's a humanitarian issue, so we have provided aid, we have done the Operation Rahat, in which we have provided all the supplies, food and other medicines to the these Rohingya migrants who are staying currently in Bangladesh. That is one thing. And as you all have talked about Rohingya issue with respect to India giving them an ultimatum. So what is the latest with respect to that, or what was the issue? Like, India is known for taking care of the refugees, है ना? Yeah, so what has happened is, since there have been reports that there might be chances that some of them may have the terror links. So keeping in mind our internal security issue, we have taken, our Minister of State for External Affairs, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, has given the statement, the illegal migrants, the Rohingyas who are staying in India, they might be deported back. But Supreme Court has come in front of this, and yes, we are giving all the Article 21 rights and everything are being given to Rohingyas and all the refugees, but when it comes to your internal security, so any country cannot compromise on that. So that is there. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब this Rohingya issue, how it is going to impact the whole region? Do you think this issue this Rohingya crisis can impact the region? See, Rohingya crisis it's not a crisis for two countries only. It has larger repercussions because the two countries, if you see Myanmar and Bangladesh, they are one of the growing economies. Okay? Any instability in this region will bring instability in the whole area. ठीक है, पूरे region की countries के लिए instability होगी. We are talking about BIMSTEC, ठीक है? Bangladesh is also member, Myanmar is also member. What will happen to the groups when the member themselves are fighting over this? Second thing is, like, there has been Rohingya Arakan, National Rohingya Arakan Army and all those things there have been reports of that. IS is also supporting these, ठीक है? Arakan Rohingya Nationalist Army, Arakan Rohingya Nationalist Army. So this thing has come up. So what will happen if the terror groups are getting linked to Rohingya? So it will bring the instability there. Then what is happening is, when you have in Rohingya issue, what has happened is Islam versus Buddhism. Ethnic conflict is there between the Muslim population and the Buddhist population there. So if it aggravates, then there might be a situation where there will be a bigger crisis, whereby the countries who support Muslim population would be on one side and the countries which support Buddhist population would be on the other side. So there might be a larger religious conflict. ठीक है, तो रोहिंग्या is not just an issue between two countries. If it is not resolved, then it will have larger implications in the neighborhood also. And moreover, for us it is very important because this is the Rakhine province where we have the Sitwe project that we are always talking about, है ना. Sitwe project, आपका IMT corridor, everything is like, अगर if there is instability in Myanmar, so it is not good for us. Our Act East policy, our IMT corridor, our ASEAN, everything will get impacted negatively by this instability. So this is your Rohingya issue. Now we'll talk about ASEAN. ASEAN. What is the latest with respect to ASEAN? The ASEAN leaders were there in India for 26 January, है ना. Now, yes, 25 years, and then they were here also, so that is more important. So why is ASEAN as a group important for us? ASEAN क्यों जरूरी है हमारे लिए? Why is ASEAN important? There are three main pillars of relationship between India and ASEAN. What are the three C's? Connectivity, then नहीं, connectivity, cooperation, मतलब what are the three C's? India-ASEAN relationship, what are the three C's? We have done it in the class also. Connectivity, okay. Second is culture. What is the third C? और क्या हो सकता है बताओ? इंडिया आसियान, connectivity is there, culture is there, then सबसे important कॉमर्स, सबसे important कहाँ भूलते हैं? कैसे याद रखना, याद नहीं रहता एग्जाम में, बिल्कुल याद नहीं आता है. सी आसियान इज लाइक थ्री सीज. वन इज योर, समझ याद रखने का तरीका is commerce, economic relationship. ASEAN is very important. For commerce, what you need is connectivity. ठीक है, commerce is there, connectivity is there, and then we are always talking about Buddhist circuit. हम बुद्धिस्ट सर्किट की बात कर रहे हैं, हम रामायणा फेस्टिवल की बात कर रहे हैं, किया था ना 2018 आसियान कंट्रीज में रामायणा फेस्टिवल. सो द थ्री सीज ऑफ आवर रिलेशनशिप विद आसियान इज योर कनेक्टिविटी, कल्चर एंड कॉमर्स. दीज आर द थ्री मेन पिलर्स ऑफ आवर रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन इंडिया एंड आसियान. नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस वन बाय वन. कनेक्टिविटी के लिए क्या चाहिए, कौन से प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो हमारे और आसियान के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है? What are the three projects? One is your Sitwe project, IMT corridor, और भी कुछ है? Is there anything else? हाँ? Delhi Hanoi rail link, लिखो Delhi Hanoi rail link. Different connectivity projects are there. Okay, one by one we will take IMT corridor. From where does it start, IMT corridor? Bengal ka matlab IMT, it starts from West Bengal, but where? IMT corridor kahan se kahan? India, Myanmar and Thailand corridor. It starts from Kolkata se start hota hai. Maybe. That is Sitwe project. IMT corridor starts from Moreh. It's in Manipur. It's not Bengal. जो आप बोल रहे बंगाल से start होता है, West Bengal से. It is your Sitwe project that starts from there. Sitwe or the Kaladan. ठीक है, तो IMT corridor connectivity के ऊपर they might not simply ask your IMT corridor, they might simply ask your connectivity projects जो हैं overall what is the status, क्योंकि connectivity is an important aspect of India-ASEAN relationship. ठीक है, so one is your IMT corridor. It starts from Moreh to, it is called Moreh to Mysore corridor. Moreh, then it goes, Moreh is your Manipur. From Manipur it goes to Myanmar. Myanmar से होते हुए ये Mysore is in Thailand. ठीक है, तो it is called your Moreh to Mysore corridor, IMT corridor. What is the advantage? Why we are looking forward for this corridor? So we are eagerly waiting for this corridor, IMT corridor. ये होने से क्या होगा IMT corridor से? Northeast connectivity, okay. And what is the current status of for this corridor? क्या है ये, कहाँ है अभी ये corridor? Is it functional? India-Myanmar friendship road that we have constructed, बस वहीं तक अभी ये functional, उसके बाद ये अभी आगे नहीं गया है. If this corridor is made, of course it will increase your connectivity. ठीक है, connectivity होगा, more people to people contact, more economic activities would be there. ठीक है, and then apart from that, this particular corridor can be extended to your CLMV countries. That is your Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Vietnam. Myanmar is there, so Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam. So it can be extended to that, and those countries have huge developmental opportunities where we can invest in development there. Trade can happen there. So this IMT corridor is very, very important to us. Now what is the current status? It is important, and the idea was conceived way back in 2002, but still it is not happening. हमने मोटर व्हीकल एग्रीमेंट की भी बात की है, अभी तक वो साइन नहीं हुआ है इसमें. ठीक है, तो अभी वो भी साइन नहीं हुआ है. तो व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? द प्रॉब्लम इज कि कनेक्टिविटी के लिए जहाँ पे बात है, तो देयर हैज बीन चेंज इन रिजिम्स. ठीक है, वी हैव टॉक्ड इट इन 2002. द आइडिया वाज कंसीव्ड देन देयर हैज बीन लॉट ऑफ फ्लक्चुएशंस इन म्यांमार आल्सो. देयर वाज मिलिट्री जनता, देन डेमोक्रेसी, एंड देन ऑल दोस instability in the like change of regime in the countries. That is one issue. Then from our side also resource का जो problem है थोड़ा सा in countries में. Then Myanmar में आपका instability चल रहा है. That is again another problem in this region. Then India side जो है, हमारी side से we need to hurry up this. ठीक है, हमारे पास resource है, but it's not that much resource has not been used here. Then we have bureaucratic hurdles also. So because of all these things, there have been issues to this, and even on our side there has been instability in northeast also. Northeast में भी insurgency रही है. तो we need to look into all these aspects and go for IMT corridor, because this IMT corridor is very important for our Act East policy also, and connectivity to these three countries. Along with it, it can be extended to your CLMV countries also. So that is your IMT corridor connectivity के लिए. Then we have Kaladan multimodal project. ठीक है, that starts from, that you said उस time IMT के लिए, West Bengal. So it starts from where does it start? From where does it start? It starts from Kolkata. From there, where does it go? Sea route to Sitwe. Sitwe se Kaladan is the name of the river. It's not the name of a place. So it starts from India and it comes back to India. ठीक है? It starts from Kolkata, India में. Then it goes to your Sitwe. From there, Palitwa, Kalitwa are the two places. From Palitwa, it goes to Kalitwa, and then it comes back to India. Where does it come back to India? Which state in India does it come back to? It comes to Mizoram. है ना? There is a place called Longtalai, it comes back to Mizoram. Now, why this connectivity, why we are so much focused on this particular Sitwe project or the Kaladan multimodal project? What is its importance? Why it is so important for us? Alternative to chicken snake, okay. We have talked about it so many times. It is important, this particular project, your Kaladan multimodal project. It's called multimodal because sea route hai aapka, then you have your Kaladan river route is there, then you are coming to your NH also when you are coming back to Mizoram. So Longtalai NH mein aap aa rahe ho, road hai aapka, and in the long run there are talks that it should be connected with rail route also. So that is why it is called multimodal project. This particular project is important, number one, because this is important because of your Act East policy. ठीक है, जो हमारा Act East policy अगर connectivity नहीं होगी तो how can we have the commerce done? When our lines are, when our communication lines are not there, then there is a problem. ठीक है, so that is one aspect to this Kaladan multimodal project. Then this particular project is also important, strategically important, because it is currently in the northeast we have Chicken's Neck, सिलीगुड़ी कॉरिडोर. ठीक है, जो डोकलाम इशू में हमने सिलीगुड़ी कॉरिडोर का जो है वल्नरेबिलिटी को देखा. व्हाट हैपेंस इन केस इफ इट इज ब्लॉक्ड, इट इज चोक्ड, देन we don't have any alternate connectivity. So right now we are focusing on your this particular project, so there will be an alternative to your Chicken's Neck. One is your China's presence in the region. Second thing is, even if there is no fear of China, otherwise also it's a very narrow corridor. यहाँ बहुत ट्रैफिक होता है. ठीक है, तो उसके चलते जो है आपके गुड्स, स्पेशली पेरिशेबल गुड्स, दे गेट डिस्ट्रॉयड ड्यूरिंग द होल transportation process. So once this is developed, Kaladan multimodal project, if it becomes functional, even the travel time will reduce. ठीक है, travel time will reduce and trade will become more economical for us. And then for the development of northeast, it is very very important. ठीक है, क्योंकि आपका जो है नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी ट्रेवल टाइम है आपका कम कर रहा है. What? Yes, so that would be a connectivity project. So if you want, you can write it down. One, it is important for your Act East policy. Pointers में लिख लो. It is important for your Act East policy. Then it would strategically important because it's an alternative to your Siliguri corridor, Chicken's Neck. Then it would reduce the travel time from, third point, it would reduce the travel time from Kolkata to Mizoram by 3 to 4 days. ठीक है, और once this corridor is made, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे employment generation, more people to people contact, cultural contact, those things will automatically come into the factor. So ASEAN के लिए जो है 3 important pillars for India relationship. One is your connectivity. Connectivity में आपके ये major transport projects हैं. इसके अलावा what kind of connectivity we are talking about? We are also talking about information highways, internet connectivity, bandwidth connectivity. So that is another connectivity. One is your physical and second is your highways, information highways. This is what our Prime Minister has talked about with respect to connectivity with ASEAN. Physical connectivity, the major projects are your IMT and Kaladan, and information highways is another area of connectivity. Okay? Now, when it comes to culture, what kind of linkages we have with ASEAN? We have very historical linkages, है ना? We have Buddhist culture तो है, उसके अलावा Angkor Wat, old temples are there. Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are very popular in Thailand. They are, ठीक है? तो these kind of Indonesia, Thailand, they are very popular there. Then some of the dance forms are common. Language का जो है आपका ancient scripts are common in some of the places. So cultural connectivity is another thing. That is why we are talking about development of Buddhist circuit with ASEAN. And this year 2018 Ramayana festival in the ASEAN countries. We have planned that also, Ramayana festival in the ASEAN countries. When the ASEAN leaders were here that time even, that was screened also, Ramayana was screened also. So that is your cultural, because what happens is when it comes to your ASEAN and India, सिर्फ हम Buddhist पे focus करते हैं, है ना? So that is another aspect, because Ramayana festival का काफ़ी जब ये आए थे तो that was coming too much in the news. So not only the Buddhism but this aspect also. When it comes to commerce, क्या है हमारा relationship? How is the relationship with ASEAN with respect to commerce? कैसा है? Fourth largest trading partner. ASEAN is our fourth largest trading partner. Trade is approximately, bilateral trade जो है आपका, it's approximately 74-75 billion US dollars, but the trade deficit is in favor of ASEAN, and this trade deficit is increasing every year. ठीक है? So what is the issue? Why this trade deficit is increasing every year? ASEAN के साथ we have FTA in goods, है ना? So we have signed a FTA in services also. So what is the issue? Why this trade, huge trade deficits, huge trade imbalance with ASEAN? How does it lead to your trade deficit? See, we have bilateral trade agreements with some of these countries also, which is not working good. So bilateral trade agreement, you can write these points if you want. The bilateral trade agreement between India and some of the ASEAN countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia is not working well. Then second is your, like we have signed agreement FTA on services, but it has not been ratified yet by some of the ASEAN countries. ठीक है? Signing is one thing and ratification is one thing. It is yet to be ratified by some of the ASEAN countries. Then there are many tariff and non-tariff barriers on Indian goods. हमारे agriculture goods are facing lot of tariff barriers there. And according to UNCTAD, what is UNCTAD? United Nation का जो है UNCTAD, according to UNCTAD, it is very like if you are doing trade with ASEAN, there are approximately 6,000 non-tariff barriers. ठीक है, उनके पास बहुत सारे non-tariff barriers है. This is the data of UNCTAD. Even if you want, you can write. As per UNCTAD, there are approximately 6,000 non-tariff barriers to trade with ASEAN. Then what are the other non-trade barriers that hamper trade with India is your quality certification, packaging, ठीक है, आपका जो है custom clearance. These are some of the issues because there might be a question on ASEAN. India, ASEAN, why is ASEAN important? Economic relationship, and in spite of having such a good relationship, why every year we are having the trade deficit is increasing every year. So these are some of the issues why the trade is every year the trade deficit is increasing. ठीक है, आपके tariff non-tariff barriers आते हैं. Then apart from that, your connectivity with ASEAN is also not very good. We are talking about IMT corridor, we are talking about Sitwe, but they are not completely operational now. So connectivity is also a major thing. Then tariff, non-tariff barriers are also a major thing. Then FTA in service needs to be ratified by all the countries there. Then in goods also we have bilateral agreement with some of these countries which is not working well. So these are some of the reasons why our trade with ASEAN is not up to the mark. ठीक है, so ASEAN, why it is important? ASEAN is important, we have done why it is important. We have different platforms of connectivity for ASEAN, like politically also there are major platforms, approximately 50 platforms जहाँ पे हम इनके साथ connect होते हैं. We have a dedicated ambassador to ASEAN. हमारा जो है dedicated पूरा ambassador है ASEAN region के लिए. तो ASEAN is very very important क्योंकि हम जो है Act East policy and Act East policy से we want to go into Indo-Pacific. ठीक है, तो first point is your म्यांमार, आसियान का जो मेंबर है, वहाँ से हमें आगे अपना ट्रेड लेके जाना है. तो कनेक्टिविटी के लिए हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, हमारे नॉर्थ ईस्ट की स्टेबिलिटी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है. ठीक है, देन इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स, व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस वी फेस इन डीलिंग विद आसियान? आसियान के साथ डील करने में क्या चैलेंजेस आते हैं? China, okay. You are writing mains ना? ASEAN तो पढ़ के अच्छे से करो. What are the challenges that we face in dealing with ASEAN? क्या challenges लगते हैं? What kind of group is this? How many countries are there in ASEAN? 10 countries हैं. This group itself is very heterogeneous group. ठीक है, some of the countries are pro-China, some of the countries are pro-USA. Within ASEAN also, some of the countries are having their issues with China over the maritime, South China Sea में उनके साथ issue चल रहा है आपका. Some of the countries are pro-China, some of the countries are pro-USA, some of the countries are very rich, developed, like your Singapore is there, Indonesia is there. ठीक है, ये सारी countries आपकी developed में, and in comparison to that you have Cambodia, you have Laos, you have Vietnam. ठीक है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. Then you compare with respect to religion also. Some of the countries are Buddhist, some of the countries have Islam as a dominant. Malaysia, आप Indonesia चले जाओ, Malaysia चले जाओ, तो it is a very heterogeneous group. So आपको एक heterogeneous group और एक homogeneous group, when you interact with the homogeneous group, it is much easier to convince the group. But when it is a heterogeneous group, then it becomes very difficult to convince that group. That is one point. Second is your connectivity नहीं है हमारी. ठीक है, we are talking about कि okay, commerce, this, that, all kind of connectivity, economic connectivity, social, cultural connectivity, but you need to have the highways, you need to have the route for connectivity, which itself is not there, है ना. कनेक्टिविटी की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है वहाँ पे, और हमारे यहाँ से भी क्या है कि हमारे यहाँ से भी इंस्टेबिलिटी है इन नॉर्थ ईस्ट. That is also another issue, है ना. जब तक नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेबल नहीं होगा, बिकॉज नॉर्थ ईस्ट इज द कनेक्टिंग पॉइंट टू दीज कंट्रीज, तो आपका ही कनेक्टिंग पॉइंट में इफ यू हैव द प्रॉब्लम, वहाँ पे इंस्टेबिलिटी है, तो आप आगे कैसे डेवलप करोगे, है ना. दैट इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम, दैट द चैलेंजेस दैट वी फेस while dealing with ASEAN. Now what is the way forward? What are the areas where we can work together with ASEAN? Because UPSC आपसे suggestion भी मांगता है, what are the ways where we can work together? One is your connectivity, जिसमें कि हम, है ना, that is one area. Second area is your blue economy. ASEAN countries are all countries जो आपकी littoral countries हैं, है ना. So that is another area. Blue economy is another area we can work together. Blue economy में we can work together in your what? किन एरियाज में ब्लू इकोनॉमी टर्म जो हम यूज करते हैं, हम किन एरियाज में वी कैन वर्क टुगेदर. आपको पता है ओशन इकोनॉमी प्लेज लाइक जीडीपी ऑफ वियतनाम 20% ऑफ इट कम्स फ्रॉम इट्स ओशन इकोनॉमी, वियतनाम जैसी कंट्री का. सिमिलरली इंडोनेशिया 15% ऑफ इट्स जीडीपी इज फ्रॉम ओशन इकोनॉमी. सो वी कैन गो फॉर फिशरीज, we can go for sustainable development, SDG के जो goals हैं उसके लिए we can work together. Apart from that, your marine ICT is another area where we can work. ठीक है, marine ICT, have you heard of this word, marine ICT? जहाँ पे आपका नॉर्वे वगैरह जो countries, they have done wonders. We have done it in the class also, अगर आपको याद होगा तो we have done it in the class. नीति आयोग का पेपर था, उसका एक suggestion था that we have done in the class also. So marine ICT is another area, then hydrocarbon is another area. So lot many areas where we can work. One of course is your connectivity. Second area where we can increase our relationship with ASEAN is your blue economy. और किस area में हम कर सकते हैं? Think of the areas that are upcoming areas. Cyber security, another area where we can work together is your cyber. Digital age, it's a digital era, so digital area is another area where we can work together. We can go for joint R&D, we can go for our homogeneous kind of laws where we can share information. डिजिटल इंफॉर्मेशन कैन बी शेयर. ठीक है, आपके लॉज अगर इन सिंक बनते हैं तो यू कैन शेयर द इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. देन योर स्किल अपग्रेडेशन, स्किल डेवलपमेंट इन दिस, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग इन दिस, बिकॉज इंडिया इज अ लीडर इन दिस एरिया, सो वी कैन वर्क टुगेदर इन दिस एरिया. ये आपका एक एरिया है जहाँ पे वी कैन वर्क टुगेदर. देन अनदर एरिया इज वेयर वी कैन वर्क टुगेदर इज वेयर इफ यू सी many Indians are working in your Malaysia and Singapore. ठीक है, they are getting, India में जो है jobless growth वाली issue है, we have lot of unemployment here, so many of them are moving to Singapore and Malaysia. They are getting good salaries there, but there are issues for their human right issues are there, working conditions are not good there. तो अपना जो माइग्रेशन हो रहा है, and it is said that by 2020 there are going to be huge opportunities in these two countries for people to come and work in Singapore and Malaysia. So migration is another area where we can work together, so that because it is important, because remittances come back to your country and remittances are an important aspect for your development. ठीक है, remittances आता है, technical know-how आता है, work culture आता है, so many things are there. So migration is another area where we can work together. Apart from that is your soft power. Here we have an edge over China. ठीक है, we have historical, cultural, religious similarities between the two countries. Then both the countries, मतलब both the countries नहीं, India and the group, both the partners are favoring democracy. We favor rule-bound system. ठीक है, we favor freedom of navigation. This is another area where we can work together, because जो ASEAN countries, some of them are already having the disputes with China in the South China Sea, because China is hindering the freedom of navigation. So this is another area where India and ASEAN can work together for the promotion of democratic institutions, rule-based system, freedom of navigation, culture. So these are some of the areas where we can work together. So ASEAN, there might be a question on ASEAN. So ASEAN is important because of Act East policy, development of Northeast. ASEAN is important to counter China also, because China की presence already is there. So if we have good relationship with ASEAN, तो आपका वो counterbalance बनता है. So ASEAN is very, very important from economic perspective, from your developmental perspective, from all connectivity projects. ASEAN is important. The challenges are there. The challenges are because of the very heterogeneous group is there. We are talking about economic relationship, but we don't have connectivity there. Then Northeast itself, we are having disturbances, instability in Northeast, which is hampering our linkage with ASEAN. Now, what are the future areas where India and ASEAN can work together? Of course, one is your connectivity, one is your digital era is coming. So in the digital area, we can work together. Then apart from that is your blue economy. All these are littoral countries, so we have a good chance to work with them there. Then migration, as the employment opportunities are huge there and is going to rise, especially in your Singapore and Malaysia. So we need to work on that, and soft power is another area where we can work together. So India and ASEAN are two major players in the region, and if they work together, we can counterbalance China also. ठीक है, तो India and ASEAN. Okay. Now ASEAN के अलावा और क्या है? What is another thing that is important? Along with, like we have done Myanmar, we have done IMT corridor, we have done Kaladan, we have done ASEAN. ठीक है, एक ग्रुप हमने खत्म कर लिया. अब नेबरहुड में और कौन सा important रह गया है जो हमने मिस किया हो for the current is your Nepal. BIMSTEC we will do. We will do that. Okay. What has been the new with respect to Nepal? Something new with respect to Nepal. कुछ ऐसा हुआ है नया अभी इस पूरे साल में? हाँ? Who is the Prime Minister currently there? Oli is there. We will do Sri Lanka also, and then we will talk about neighborhood first policy. KP Oli is there. That's a new thing. How KP Oli's re-election as a Prime Minister, how has been the relationship? Just briefly, it's not much with respect to India and Nepal, not much current has happened. But yes, क्या हुआ? Last 1 year में KP Oli has gone to China. He has come to India also. What are the major issues that we have discussed? Because what are the major issues that have been discussed, that is of concern. ठीक है? Is Nepal a part of BRI? Nepal has joined BRI also. Okay? So, and the first time Nepal and China has done their joint military exercise also. Sagar Matha, है ना? That is that PT के time पे you all might have marked up. So Sagar Matha जो है वो भी first time हुआ. So KP Oli has come to the power again in Nepal. So he has gone to China also. What are the major things that have been signed, or MOUs have been signed with respect to China and Nepal relationship? क्या क्या हुआ? China Nepal relationship में क्या क्या हुआ? China is building a rail link from Tibet to Nepal. That was one thing when he has visited. अरुण 3 तो इंडिया के साथ, ठीक है, ये थोड़ा फैक्चुअल है, आप चाहो तो लिख लो some important things जो हुआ है. Rail project from Tibet to Kathmandu, but not up to the Indian border as India was fearing about it. Okay? The rail project will be from your Tibet to Kathmandu, but it will not be coming to your near to your India border that India was fearing. Second thing is, China is also helping Nepal in building oil storage facilities. Oil storage facilities. If you see in the background what was the situation when there was unofficial blockade, oil नहीं पहुंचा था वहाँ पे and it has disturbed whole of Nepal. ठीक है, तो अब China is helping it to build oil storage facilities, and it will also help in researching oil and gas resources in Nepal. See, these facts you will not be asked to write, but these facts give you an idea how to analyze India-Nepal relationship. Okay? Then 3 north-south economic corridors in Nepal. China is building 3 north-south economic corridors in Nepal. And another major thing is China is building cross-border transmission and fiber optic lines. Cross-border transmission and fiber optic lines. These are the major things between China and Nepal. Now with respect to India and Nepal, what are the major signatures and the major issues that have been done is your India is also building a rail link from Raxaul to Kathmandu. Raxaul to Kathmandu. You write these facts and then it will be easier for you to analyze. Okay? India-Nepal relationship keeping China in mind. Okay? So one thing is Raxaul to Kathmandu. Then inland waterway. We are also building inland waterway for freight movement. Then there is an agreement on agricultural cooperation. Agreement on agriculture cooperation. Then inauguration of Arun 3, which India is funding, 1.5 billion US dollar India is funding. Then another thing is with respect to Nepal and China is Nepal and China signed 1200 megawatt Budhi Gandaki hydroelectric project. Last year it has signed Budhi Gandaki hydroelectric project, and last year November it has scrapped also. It has scrapped also the project. पहले sign किया, November में scrapped किया. But now KP Oli is again interested in this project. KP Oli is again interested to revive the project. So if you see these facts, the facts that we have written, and then you see India-Nepal relationship, we cannot say that it's like we are at loss somewhere. Of course, China is also building these things that we need to be very cautious about. Okay? China is building roads there. China is building economic corridor there. Okay? Then China is helping in oil storage also there. But on the other hand also, if you see the project was scrapped also. Why the project, this particular project Buddhi Gandaki was scrapped? Because there were certain issues where China wants to have the major stake, management ka jo hai uska sara control, China wanted to have the major stake in this project, and if that would have happened, then Nepal would become just a customer state for China. Okay? So these are some of the issues. Of course, China is showing its imprint in Nepal, but on the other side, Nepal, earlier we had some downfall in the relationship immediately after that unofficial blockade, but now the relationships are again getting back to normal. That is why Mr. KP Oli was here after getting sworn in as the Prime Minister, and we have started our connectivity projects, because connectivity is one major hurdle between India and China. So this Raxaul line we are talking about, it's not only this, we are talking about your inland waterways also. Then at the same time Arun 3 project ka bhi humne kiya, agriculture mein jahan pe hai, that is a big huge potential, there also we are working. Now the concern is about these kind of hydropower projects. If China is making big hydropower projects in Nepal, of course Nepal needs it. Nepal has huge potential of HEP, but it is only utilizing approximately 2% of its potential. It is buying currently from India. So naturally any country, any democratic country would like to have its own production. ठीक है, अगर उसके पास capability है तो हर कोई independent बनने की बात करता है. But the issue is if China gets a huge stake in this, ठीक है, so what will happen कि हमारा जो है यहाँ पे चाइना का प्रेजेंस बढ़ जाएगा. दूसरा, अगर ये बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स यहाँ बनेंगे तो वाटर to the lower riparian, India is a lower riparian, water flow will come down to India, जिससे कि हमारे यहाँ पे water when the flow of the water reduces to India, in that case हमारे यहाँ पे issues आ जाएंगे. हमारे projects में we will be getting scarce water. ठीक है, देन हमारे यहाँ के नेविगेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, हमारे HEP प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, हमारे एग्रीकल्चर इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, सो दोज थिंग्स वुड बी इम्पैक्टेड. प्लस एट द सेम टाइम वी ऑल्सो वी हैव वाटर शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट विद बांग्लादेश ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो उसमें भी इम्पैक्ट होगा. वो बोलेगा कि बिकॉज अंडर दैट एग्रीमेंट इफ देयर इज रिड्यूस्ड वाटर फ्रॉम India to Bangladesh, then India has to compensate for that. तो पीछे से ही कम आ रहा है, तो overall that might impact the whole of your water related issues. ठीक है, it's not only your within India but India-Bangladesh relationship also. So this is the latest with respect to Nepal. Now when we come to Sri Lanka, what are the major issues that we have seen with respect to Sri Lanka in the last 1 year? One is your Hambantota that we have discussed while doing your IOR region. One is your Hambantota port where China has got it on 99 years of lease. ठीक है, the presence of China is increased in Sri Lanka here. Then apart from that, bottom trawling is one issue, and then with respect to this, one is your China has got the stakes in Hambantota and 18 kilometers away Matala airport where we are trying to get the stakes. ठीक है, तो मतलब counter अपना side भी जहाँ अच्छा कर रहा है उसकी भी बात कर लो. And then yes, bottom trawling is one issue, major issue between India and Sri Lanka. Every time fishermen are getting into the prisons of each other's countries or they are being shot. ठीक है, they are being killed. So what is the issue of this bottom trawling? क्या issue है? Why this is an issue? This fishermen issue between India and Sri Lanka. Why this is an issue between India and Sri Lanka? Do we have a properly demarcated boundaries? क्या issue है इसमें? What is the issue? Why every time we are having this issue? किया था क्लास में. See, boundary demarcation is not a major issue. The major issue is what has happened is in this area when the Sri Lanka was under civil war. When the civil war ended is your 2009 है ना, after the killing of Prabhakaran, the civil war जो आपका LTT वाला, remember the class notes हमने किया था 2009 civil war ended after the killing of Prabhakaran. So during the civil war, श्रीलंका was not allowing its fishermen to come to this area, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे जो था उनके साइड से फिशरमैन वर नॉट अलाउड. वाई? बिकॉज आर्म्स ट्रेडिंग आपकी होती थी वहाँ से, आर्म्स स्मगलिंग होती थी, बिकॉज ऑफ देयर इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी इशू दे वर नॉट अलाउइंग इट. सो व्हाट हैज हैपेंड आफ्टर 2009? सो व्हेन दे हैव ओपनड अप, ठीक है, तो नाउ दे आर ऑल्सो कमिंग टू दिस एरिया एंड दे विल कम बिकॉज दैट इज देयर एरिया. और हम भी यहाँ से जा रहे हैं. जो कच्चा तीवू आइलैंड, जो कच्चा तीवू वाला जो इशू है, कच्चा तीवू वाला इशू इज दैट हम कह रहे हैं कि हमारा ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स आर देयर, मीन्स हमारे ट्रेडिशनल राइट है और हम वहाँ पे जा सकते हैं. दिस ऑल वी हैव डन इन द क्लास, है ना. जो कच्चा तीवू आइलैंड का इशू है तो उसमें क्या है कि वी आर सेइंग दैट कि वी हैव द ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स. सो आवर फिशरमैन आर आल्सो गोइंग देयर एंड देयर फिशरमैन हु वर नॉट कमिंग अर्लियर बट नाउ आफ्टर द सिविल वॉर दे आर आल्सो कमिंग देयर. सो वहाँ पे क्या है, आपका क्लैश हो जा रहा है. एंड श्रीलंका की साइड से दे डोंट अलाउ बॉटम ट्रॉलिंग, ठीक है, दे डोंट अलाउ बॉटम ट्रॉलिंग, बट फ्रॉम आवर साइड फिशरमैन यूज बॉटम ट्रॉलर्स, ठीक है. तो वो डीप वाटर से वो बॉटम ट्रॉलर्स यूज कर रहे हैं. तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दे आर डिस्ट्रॉइंग, दे आर गेटिंग द ह्यूज फिश कैच, जो उनमें से बहुत सारी फिशेस आर ऑफ नो यूज. And it's not only the fishes, but at the same time it is also impacting the marine ecosystem. वो उसको डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहा है. श्रीलंका का मरीन इकोसिस्टम जो उनका एरिया का है, वहाँ का मरीन इकोसिस्टम हो रहा है. एंड बड़े बड़े ट्रॉलर्स वी आर टेकिंग, बॉटम ट्रॉलर्स वी आर टेकिंग, तो वी आर गेटिंग मोर ऑफ द फिशेस एंड उनके साइड से बैन है. तो देयर इज ऑलवेज अ issue, there is always an issue ki from our side in our area when we are not allowed, from Indian side which the thing which is banned they are using it, so there is always a clash, है ना. उसके लिए हमेशा वहाँ पे clash रह रहा है. And third thing is within water it's like it's very difficult to demarcate कि ये इंडिया का पानी है या श्रीलंका का पानी है, ठीक है. So means that is another issue कि कहाँ demarcation है, that is not clear. For a fisherman it is very difficult to draw a boundary कि this is India's side and this is their side. So these are some of the issues जो कि आपका bottom trawling में हो रहा है. तो what could be the way out? क्या किया जा सकता है? अगर हमें demarcation नहीं है तो we can use technology, है ना. और जो हमारे वी कैन यूज टेक्नोलॉजी एटलीस्ट कि आपको जीपीएस सिस्टम और वो दे शुड बी इन्फॉर्म्ड कि यू आर क्रॉसिंग योर टेरिटोरियल वाटर्स या आप अपनी बाउंड्री क्रॉस करके उधर जा रहे हो. तो दैट इज वन थिंग दैट कैन बी डन. जीपीएस टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. बॉटम ट्रॉलिंग एनीवेज इज नॉट गुड, ठीक है. व्हाट हैपेंस इन श्रीलंकन साइड, दे यूज द हाई टाइड्स. हाई टाइड्स में दे डू डिफरेंट मल्टी डे फिशिंग. मतलब हाई टाइड्स जब होते हैं तो आपकी फिशेस ऐसे ही ऊपर आ रही हैं तो वो कर रहे हैं, तो उनको बॉटम जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. हमारे यहाँ क्या है कि बॉटम ट्रॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, तो वी ऑल्सो नीड टू बैन इट, ठीक है, बिकॉज एनीवेज आपका जो है मरीन इकोलॉजी को खराब कर रहा है. वाई कांट वी ऑल्सो प्रमोट द हाई सी फिशिंग. हाई सी में अपने आप आपके फिशेस ऊपर आ रहे हैं. You can go for multi-day fishing. That kind of thing can be also applied in India. That is another thing. ठीक है. इसके अलावा क्या किया जा सकता है कि जैसे हम oil blocks लेते हैं, ठीक है. We go to another country and we take oil blocks. हम कच्चा तीवू की बात कर रहे हैं कि कच्चा तीवू is ours and there is a court case going on in Supreme Court. क्लास में किया था हमने, है ना. Government of India with Tamil Nadu government court case. अब देखो हमने when we have already given it to them, it is practically impossible to get it back. So rather than fighting over it, if we can get fishing blocks in that region, that would be a amicable solution rather than fighting all the time. ठीक है. So these are some of the suggestions we can write क्योंकि that is a major issue between India and Sri Lanka about your fishermen issue. So one thing is we need to use technology, GPS and all can be used, ठीक है. आपका जो नाविक सिस्टम है that can be used. साउथ एशियन सैटेलाइट है, किसी भी तरह से आप सैटेलाइट इमेजरी GPS we can use to demarcate. Second thing is bottom trawling जो है आपकी, that also needs to be stopped. It's not good for your ecology environment. Third thing is हमारा जो है we can instead of fighting over issue which is practically not taking us anywhere, Kachativu Island, when we have already given it to Sri Lanka, ठीक है, तो no point fighting over it, rather than we can look forward for options where we can get your fishing blocks from Sri Lanka. And another thing is कि in case a fisherman crosses the boundary either side, Sri Lanka या India, in that case it should be dealt on humanitarian basis rather than देखते ही killing कर दो आप, देखते ही shoot कर दो आप, है ना? तो that, yeah, joint patrolling could be there, naval cooperation could be there, rather than just shoot at sight order kind of a thing. That should be stopped. ठीक है? So these are some of the latest things with respect to Sri Lanka. Other major things अभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है. और दूसरा क्या है, अभी तक जो है, if you see this is Sri Lanka, अभी तक चाइना जो है आपका southern Sri Lanka की तरफ था. Now China is trying to come to your northern Sri Lanka also. Northern Sri Lanka is close to India, ठीक है? So that is यहाँ पे वो जो है, यहाँ पे it is taking infrastructure developmental projects, housing projects. So that is a concern for us, क्योंकि अभी तक तो वो सिर्फ साउथ चाइना, साउथ श्रीलंका में था, बट अभी जो है वो इस साइड आ रहा है, ठीक है? तो that is another thing which is of concern. We need to see कि कैसे आगे और डेवलपमेंट होती है. हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह जो है वो नदन साइड में अब इसने लेना स्टार्ट कर दिया धीरे धीरे. So that is another thing which was in the news. So this is about your Sri Lanka. So we have talked about almost all the countries in the neighborhood. So now tell me, if a question comes, because neighborhood first policy is one of the major foreign policies, foreign relation policies of government of India in the current times. So do you think it's a successful, if you have to analyze neighborhood first policy, how is it working? Do you think it's a successful policy? Neighborhood first policy, पहली बार when he became the Prime Minister 2014, he invited all the SAARC countries, ठीक है? So how do you think कि हमारी neighborhood first policy, how it is working? Do we have some positives, negatives? क्या problem है? Why we see China is getting more dominant in our neighborhood? What are the reasons why China is getting more dominant? कितना, how far we are successful in our neighborhood first policy and what should be done? How far is another word which UPSC uses very often, है ना? How far do you think we are successful in neighborhood first policy and what should be done? क्योंकि if India has to be a global leader, first it has to be a regional leader, regional power, है ना? तो neighborhood first जो है आपको क्या लग रहा है? What do you think? I want answers from you, because हमने इतनी सारी countries कर ली in the neighborhood, ठीक है? We have discussed all the current. So seeing all those things, what do you think? Have we been successful in our neighborhood first policy, or there have been problems? Neighborhood first policy. You are saying no significant success. Okay, in the recent past. Why it's not a significant success? One point you are saying is SAARC is non-functional. Second, क्या देख के लगता है कि neighborhood में हम successful नहीं है, चाइना हमारे इधर आ गया? See, if we say कि as you are saying, neighborhood first policy is not that up to the mark. So what are the reasons is, आपके जो neighborhood में अगर आप बात कर रहे हो तो China is having its footprint almost across the neighborhood. Second thing is जो आपका SAARC countries वगैरह हैं, वहाँ पे जो है SAARC is not that particular functional group अभी रह गया है for the past few years. Though Mr. Imran Khan is saying कि now he will try to revive India-Pakistan relationships through using the platform of SAARC. So SAARC needs to be revived. This is what he has said. Let us see ki SAARC has not, it has become a dormant, we cannot say extinct, but it has become dormant in the past few years, okay, because of India-Pakistan, mainly because of India-Pakistan rivalry is there. Then in the neighborhood, if you see, there has been a image of big brother. India का जो है आपका neighborhood में अगर आप कुछ सालों में देखोगे, पिछले कुछ सालों में neighborhood में जो है India का image has been a big brother, especially with respect to your Nepal. है ना, आप अगर Maldives की भी बात करो तो वहाँ पे भी things are not going good. So what are the evidences which say that or which show that it's not working well? Some of the evidences are your presence of China. ठीक है, अभी recently आपका FTA in Maldives, China FTA in Maldives is another thing. Then आपका जो है BRI, all the almost except Bhutan, all your neighbors are members of BRI. है ना, BRI के सारे आपके members हो गए हैं. Then SAARC जो आपके सारे neighbors को इकट्ठा करने का platform है, it has become dormant in the past. We have seen its dormancy in the past few years. So these are some of the reasons or some of the evidences to show that the neighborhood first policy has not been successful. Why China is able to get into our neighborhood? What is there with China and what is not with us? क्या problem है? What do you think? China के पास ऐसा क्या है कि वो वहाँ पहुँच गया जहाँ पे हमें होना चाहिए? Economy, okay, one thing is economy, or 5 times bigger economy than us, है ना, China की economy is 5 times bigger. तो वो जो checkbook diplomacy, it uses the checkbook diplomacy. कहीं पे भी ज़रूरत है, credit line of credit will be, China is ready to opt for, is ready to give that. ठीक है, तो it's a huge economy in comparison to India. One thing is that. Second thing is China is not a democracy like India. If you could recall when we were discussing Xi Jinping's regime, we have discussed कि China में जो है, it's not a democracy. It's in democracy when you have to take decisions, तो आपको opposition को भी, आपको various stakeholders you need to take into confidence. But वहाँ पे जो है power is consolidated at one position, so it is very easier to take decisions. अब हमारे यहाँ अगर if we are doing something with Sri Lanka, different stakeholders are there and we need to listen to it, and this is a positive thing. ठीक है, ये आपका एक positive sign है. We are not criticizing, we are just analyzing कि why it is easier for China to take decisions. ठीक है, of course, it's democracy is a welcome thing. All over the world we are promoting democracy. We are a democratic country and we are proud of it. But yes, one of the things is कि हमारे यहाँ decision making late हो जाता है. Various stakeholders we need to keep into mind before taking decisions. In comparison to China, China में तो आपका democracy नहीं है. वहाँ पे there is a single authority, so वहाँ पे easily आपका decision making हो जाता है. इसके अलावा क्या है? Then another point where you see कि China is having a upper advantage. China is a UNSC member. ठीक है, UNSC member है, तो that is also another thing कि smaller countries के issues को China वहाँ पे like Rohingya issue, China जो है वहाँ it can block something in UNSC decisions, और other Sri Lanka का issue है, वहाँ पे it can block some decisions if Sri Lanka is having a good relationship with China, if Myanmar is having a good relationship with China, if any of the countries are having good relationship with China, China might come as a help in UNSC also, UN sanctions, UN decisions. So that is another thing that China is having a upper hand at. So when you compare India and China, one is it's a bigger economy, ठीक है, so it can give credits, it can help financially, economically. जो China का है वो आपका हमसे 5 times ज़्यादा economy है. Then size of the economy is 5 times of Indian economy size. Second thing is it is easier for China to take decisions and implement it because it's all the powers are consolidated at one position. vis-a-vis India, which is a democracy where to take a decision also takes time, as various stakeholders uh, things have to be, their stakes have to be considered, है ना? So that makes the decision making slow and implementation further slow. Then third thing is China is a UNSC member. Okay, so that gives it a upper hand. Okay. And another thing is, earlier India was having good relationship with, still India is having good relationship, but yes, there has been upheavals, upar niche, down, up chal raha hai. Earlier the countries in the vicinity like Nepal, Bhutan, they were not democracies. But now they have become democracies. When they have become democracies, they would definitely, any country would love to go for various options rather than depending on only one country. So they are also using their option. They have become democratic. अभी कुछ time पहले, कुछ साल पहले 2008 के around जो है आपकी democracy has come to Nepal, Bhutan, these areas. So naturally they would also look for other options rather than just depending on one country. And China is of course a good option. It has huge political power, economic power. Okay? It is one of the fastest growing democracy, fastest growing economies, not a democracy, sorry, it's a fastest growing economy. So every country is now looking for other options also. So this is why China, we see the footprints of China in the vicinity. So one aspect is ki why we say ki neighborhood first policy is not working well, we have discussed the evidences for that. Second thing is ki Chinese footprint, why it is there in the neighborhood, we have discussed there. But still we cannot say ki neighborhood first policy is completely failed. It has not completely failed. How can we say that? If you see Indian Ocean region that we have discussed, okay, agar Sri Lanka is talking about, Sri Lanka has given Hambantota port to China, same way Sri Lanka is now discussing with us for Matala airport. Second thing is, last year when BRI conference was about to happen, that time Sri Lanka has refused China for docking its warship in Sri Lanka. Earlier it has allowed, but it has refused. Okay? That is another thing. Like when we were talking about Myanmar, we have discussed ki even now Myanmar has asked China to reduce its stakes in the port development. Okay? And India and Myanmar has signed so many MOUs in the region. Then if you see in Doklam crisis, India has stood by its neighbor, Bhutan. Okay? India has stood by its neighbor. It has shown to the world that neighbor is very, very important for India. Then we have launched SARC satellite. Okay? Disaster management, we are doing so much for the neighborhood. और क्या है आपके neighborhood में? नेपाल के साथ Arun 3 is there. Arun 3 hydroelectric project is there, we are doing. Then we have signed MOUs on agriculture, we have signed MOUs that we have discussed right now, connectivity, Raxaul, Kathmandu and all those things. So we cannot completely say ki it's a failure. If you see in the neighborhood, rather we are finding that in the neighborhood, we are finding that after the Hambantota incidents, after Sri Lanka getting into the debt trap, the countries in the vicinity are also becoming cautious with China. Okay? And countries in the region, they respect India for its democracy. Okay? So that is, we cannot say ki no, we have only lost in the neighborhood. Of course, the countries are becoming more democratic in the neighborhood, so they are looking for both the options. And India is also their one option. It's not that they have completely striked out India. ठीक है. So that is, we cannot say कि neighborhood first policy is a failure, rather it is somewhere we have gained, somewhere we have lost. Of course it depends on the power which has come to the regime in that particular country, ठीक है. तो अब जब डेमोक्रेसी होगी तो एक पर्टिकुलर पार्टी आती है तो आपके रिलेशनशिप अच्छे होते हैं. लाइक बांग्लादेश, when Sheikh Hasina is there, we have a good relationship. When Khalida Zia is there, थोड़ा relationship कम हो जाता है. Similarly, when you go to Sri Lanka, we have different, Rajapaksa is there, तो अलग होता है. यहाँ आपके KP Oili आते हैं, प्रचंडा होते हैं तो अलग. तो that is because it's a democracy. तो that is what we need to take in, keep in mind कि ये रहेगा ही रहेगा. इसके अलावा जो है, अगर आप neighborhood में देखो तो BIMSTEC में भी we have done lot now. We have taken so many initiatives in BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC में आपका पाकिस्तान नहीं है, है ना. तो यहाँ पे भी of course we have not been successful through SAARC because of majorly because of India and Pakistan relationship, but we are utilizing BIMSTEC. ठीक है. तो we cannot say कि neighborhood first policy is a failure. Neighborhood first policy, of course in some areas we have like we are yet to come to the expectations, but on the other hand in other areas we are doing quite good in the neighborhood, ठीक है. तो that is one thing. What more could be done? What more could be done is like we need to implement the MOUs that we have signed, है ना. जो MOUs हमने साइन किए हैं उनको फास्टली इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. जो आपके प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उनकी डिलीवरी को फास्ट करना है. प्लस वी नीड टू take away we need to try to erase our image of big brother, ठीक है. जो हमारी एक इमेज बनी है बिग ब्रदर वाली, उसको हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? We can help that, like if a country, we need to understand what is the demand of that particular country, what is the need of that particular country, and we help accordingly, provide help accordingly. So that would be a kind of a confidence building measure. Rather than authoritarian, it would be a more confidence building measure. And then we have to have a very active diplomacy, like why we need to have a active diplomacy? Because democracy है, कौन सी political party किस country में आ रही है, उसके साथ आपको actively you have to take your decisions, foreign policy initiatives actively. We have to we have to develop that kind of cooperation and relationship with whichever political party is coming in the neighborhood. So active diplomacy, fast delivery of your goods, keep to your promises, ठीक है. And we need to go for more of the fulfilling the needs of the demands of the neighborhood rather than कि हम authoritarian way से कोई काम करें. So these are some of the things कि neighborhood first policy can be given a more active focus. And another thing is कि neighborhood first policy का one of the reasons, another reason has been like criticism, like we have talked about neighborhood first policy, then we shifted towards ASEAN, फिर वहाँ से हम Quad चले गए, means कि the focus is not there. We need to, when we have taken up this policy, so we need to give due time, energy to this policy. ठीक है, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि हम बहुत सारी, of course we need to go for it, because it's not only खाली हम neighborhood की बात करेंगे, but yes, when we have taken it, तो not at the cost of neighborhood first policy. All the policies need to go simultaneously because India wants to be a regional and global power later on. So we need to have a relationship on all fronts, but cannot neglect our neighborhood. So that is your neighborhood first policy. Now we have talked about BIMSTEC. When was it formed? 97. So last year it was 20 years, है ना? 2017. So if we current में इसका, because what is BIMSTEC, what is this, that we will not do. We will do only the current because this is current class. Now 20 years of BIMSTEC. How do you see this BIMSTEC in the last 20 years? How do you see its functioning in the last 20 years BIMSTEC? if we have to analyze ki how has been this a platform, there was a purpose behind 14 आपके cooperation areas रहे हैं आपके BIMSTEC में, education has been, what is the full form of BIMSTEC by the way? है ना? Multi-sectoral, East economic, what is this BIMSTEC? Bay of, because अगर आपको कौन से areas of cooperation है आधे तो ये आपके abbreviation से बता देते, Bay of Bengal, multi-sectoral, Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral transport, trade and economic corridor, tourism and economic corridor, टेक्नोलॉजी है इसमें, आपका इकोनॉमी है, मतलब कुछ भी, हाँ प्रीलिम्स खत्म हुआ, मेंस लिखना है तो हम मतलब प्रीलिम्स का एनीवेज, ठीक है. व्हाई आई एम सेइंग इज बिकॉज दैट गिव्स एन आइडिया व्हाट आर द एरियाज ऑफ कोऑपरेशन, है ना. टेक्नोलॉजी इज देयर, इकोनॉमिक इज देयर, ठीक है. तो दीज काइंड ऑफ एरियाज आर देयर. देयर आर मेनली 14 एरियाज ऑफ कोऑपरेशन इन बीमस्टैक. जैसे आपका जो है connectivity is one area, economic is one area, technology sharing is one area, taking care of refugees is one area, then apart from that your anti-narcotism, मतलब 14 different sectors are there. If we go into the little history, it was पहले जो था it was BIST Economic Corridor. 1997 में it was BIST Economic Corridor. Later 1997 Myanmar also joined it. ठीक है, Myanmar also joined it. And then 2002 Nepal and Bhutan also became the member, and now it is called your BIMSTEC. Now why is this BIMSTEC important for India? BIMSTEC is important क्योंकि अगर आपको एनालाइज करना है कि हाउ हैज बीन बीमस्टेक एज अ ग्रुप, सो व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंस? वन इज योर इकोनॉमिक, देन सेकेंड इज रेलिवेंस ऑफ बीमस्टेक. वन इज योर इकोनॉमिक, ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन, डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज, then it has worked as an alternative to SAARC. Then BIMSTEC में जो आपकी countries हैं, Myanmar is there, Thailand is there, they are also your ASEAN countries, ठीक है. तो it provides linkage between South Asian and ASEAN countries. What else? It is important for us from security point of view also. How come security? Myanmar, ठीक है, वहाँ से जो है आपका Myanmar is there, porous borders are there. Then आपका narco trafficking, Thailand is there, Myanmar is there, Golden Triangle वाला region आपका आता है, ठीक है, that is there. Apart from that, और क्या है? BIMSTEC is important. Refugee crisis, खासकर Rohingya, where you have India, Myanmar, Bangladesh. Energy के लिए भी ये group could be utilized. Myanmar is there, Bangladesh is there. याद है हमने BCIM corridor किया था? That time also we have talked about energy. Resources are there in Bangladesh, natural gas. You have Myanmar there, ठीक है? So there are various areas where BIMSTEC is of importance to India. Then of course your development of Northeast. If we have good relationship with these countries, we can always have the connectivity projects, we can have all kind of connectivity. People to people contact would be there, infrastructure, physical infrastructure structure connectivity will be there, social connectivity would be there, cultural will be there, economic connectivity. So all kind of connectivity would be there if we have good relationship with BIMSTEC. So all kind of connectivity will boil down to your development of Northeast. So BIMSTEC is important from economic, alternative to SAARC, linkage between South Asia and ASEAN countries, from security, from Rohingya issue, from energy, from Northeast. So BIMSTEC 20 years जो है अगर आप देखोगे इसकी इतनी importance है. So how has it been functioning? क्या लग रहा है? For the last 20 years, how successful has been BIMSTEC when it has so much of importance to India? Or what has been, it has not come up to the expectations which were expected from BIMSTEC. So what have been the issues? Why it has not been able to come up to the expectations that we were having? Yes, or no significant summits and talks, okay then. See, if you see, ये हो गया importance of BIMSTEC. If we analyze BIMSTEC for the last 20 years, because last year it has completed 20 years, so आपको there might be a question on BIMSTEC. If you see, it is said that most of India has not given much importance to BIMSTEC, rather we have focused more on ASEAN. ठीक है, जितना हमने इस पे फोकस नहीं किया उतना हमने आसियान पे फोकस किया. सेम थिंग इज बीइंग टॉक्ड अबाउट म्यांमार ऑल्सो, थाईलैंड ऑल्सो, कि जो इंडिया है, म्यांमार है, थाईलैंड है, दे हैव ऑल गिवन मोर फोकस टू आसियान, है ना, आसियान पे दिया उन्होंने मोर फोकस रादर देन टू BIMSTEC. So these are some of the major countries and they are focusing more on ASEAN. So it was neglected. Then second thing is, parallelly after like 2007, many other platforms have become very active. Like ASEAN is there, then BCIM corridor is there, BRICS को हटाओ क्योंकि हम इसकी बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. ASEAN is there, Mekong Ganga cooperation is there, ठीक है. Other platforms like ASEAN, Mekong Ganga is there, then you have ASEAN, Mekong, BCIM corridor, ठीक है. So different other platforms have simultaneously become more active, and especially ये जो आपका BCIM आ गया, तो China is trying to come into the region, तो China भी dominantly इधर अपना role play करना शुरू कर दिया BIMSTEC area में, so that is another factor. Then if you see institutional lacking, अगर आप institutional उसकी बात करो तो BIMSTEC का secretariat कहाँ है? ढाका. And when was it formed? 2014. तो अगर आप 20 years का analysis करते हो, an organization which was formed in 2007 and आप जो है 2014 में इसका secretariat बना रहे हो, तो आपका institutional backing के लिए आपने इतना साल बनाया. And then there have not been many major BIMSTEC summits. 3-4 ही हुई हैं आपकी. 20 साल में आप 3-4 summits कर रहे हो, ठीक है. तो सेक्रेटेरिएट बनने में ही इट हैज टेकन सो मच ऑफ टाइम, 2007 to 2014. सो व्हेन इट वाज फॉर्म्ड इन 2007, वी मेड अ सेक्रेटेरिएट इन 2014, एंड नाउ दैट वी हैव सेक्रेटेरिएट, नाउ इट इज लैकिंग इन resource crunch is there, manpower crunch is there, ठीक है, आपके पास रिसोर्स क्रंच है, मैन पावर क्रंच है, देन कोऑर्डिनेशन बिटवीन कंट्रीज इज ऑल्सो स्लो. ठीक है, एक तो we have not formed the secretariat at the right time. We have taken lot of time, we have wasted lot of time, and now the secretariat has been formed. So there has been issues of coordination between countries, issues of manpower, issues of resources are there. Then apart from that, major summits, 20 years summits, hardly 3-4 summits have happened, so that is another issue. Then apart from that, what are the other issues? What could be the other issues for this BIMSTEC के लिए? It is said that BIMSTEC, when it started, it has started with 14 major areas. ठीक है, किसी भी relationship का pillar जो होता है, अगर आपने इतने सारे pillars में start किया, like we talked about India ASEAN, we said 3 pillars. ठीक है, आपका 3C, connectivity, commerce and culture. When we come to BIMSTEC, we have 14 pillars. So it is like if we are not being able to fulfill even one properly, तो 14 रखने का भी फायदा क्या हो, इससे एनर्जी आपकी जो है डाइवर्ट हो जाती है. मतलब 14 मेन इश्यूज में आप काम कर रहे हो. इनिशियली यू हैव लिमिटेड इश्यूज, वर्क ऑन दैट एंड देन एक्सटेंड, रादर देन शुरू में ही आपने इतने सारे गोल्स बना लिए एंड यू आर नॉट फोकसिंग ऑन वन. दैट इज अनदर इशू. एंड देन issues among the member countries, bilateral issues among the member countries, like we have Rohingya between Myanmar and Bangladesh. Then we have what else? Nepal refugees between Nepal and Bhutan. Then we have border issues between Myanmar and Thailand. Between Myanmar and Thailand. So within the group, the members are having issues. Okay. So within the group also the members are having issues. So if we analyze, like in the last 20 years, it has not come up to the expectations like for which it was initiated. One reason is too many goals at the one go. Rather than having few goals and then extend it, we had 14 goals from the very beginning. Then we have like more focus was given to ASEAN. And the countries themselves are having, member countries themselves are having the issues with each other. Then we have, we were not having secretariat for a long time, और summits भी बहुत कम हुई हैं आपकी. ठीक है, तो these are some of the issues, major issues which has been making it not come up to the level which was expected from it. Now it's not like that. Now again India has, after the dormancy of SAARC, India is again focusing on this. So if you see, like when 2016 we had BRICS summit, we have brought the BIMSTEC members also there. BIMSTEC outreach summit was there along with BRICS 2016 में जब गोवा में हुआ था. उसी तरह there are few more facts if you want to write. 2016 India hosted BIMSTEC members on the sidelines of BRICS summit. Then India is working on finalizing the BIMSTEC motor vehicle agreement. We are working to finalize motor vehicle agreement. Focusing on fast completion of connectivity projects like Sitwe and IMT. Then last year India conducted BIMSTEC disaster management exercise. Disaster management is another area where we can work together with BIMSTEC, because all the countries are facing the same problems of cyclones and all, flooding, cyclones and all those problems are similar because they are in the same region. So epidemics, similar epidemics, and also we have conducted a disaster management exercise last year. Then India has also established BIMSTEC Energy Center in Bangalore. BIMSTEC Energy Center at Bangalore. BIMSTEC Energy Center at Bangalore. So if you see BIMSTEC and SAARC, it is only minus Pakistan, है ना? So can these be like, if the question is like, can BIMSTEC and SAARC be equal alternatives? इन दोनों को equally साथ साथ alternative ये नहीं तो ये कर सकते हैं. If you see BIMSTEC and SAARC, they have geographically overlapping areas. Geographically overlapping areas हैं, ठीक है? तो अगर geographically overlapping है, issues भी because the same countries are there, तो same issues हैं दोनों जगह, है ना? लगभग similar kind of issues are there. We cannot say same issues, but yes, similar kind of issues are there, ठीक है? आपका geographically overlapping areas हैं, and यहाँ पे अगर हम इनको मान लो ओवरलैपिंग है, इन दोनों को हम ओवरलैप कर देते हैं, तो देयर माइट बी द सिमिलर प्रॉब्लम दैट वी फेस विद सार्क. इंडिया पाकिस्तान इशू माइट कम अप अगर हम दोनों को ओवरलैप कर देते हैं. इफ वी ओवरलैप BIMSTEC एंड सार्क, इन दैट केस व्हाई द सार्क इज डिफंक्ट, one of the major issues is your India-Pakistan rivalry. That might also crop up here. सार्क जो है आपका बेसिकली जो है आपका साउथ ईस्ट एशिया वाला आपका रीजन आता है सार्क, बट जो BIMSTEC है इट इज योर, इट्स अ इंट्रा एंड इंटर रीजनल कोऑपरेशन, बिकॉज ये आपका एशिया का भी है, साउथ एशिया रीजन भी है, प्लस योर आसियान वाला रीजन भी है. तो इट्स सार्क जो है वो कंप्लीटली इंट्रा है, बट दिस इज इंटर एंड इंट्रा, क्योंकि इट इज कोलैबोरेटिंग विद योर आसियान रीजन ऑल्सो. दैट इज अनदर थिंग, है ना? और अगर इफ दे कैन वर्क टुगेदर, तो इट्स अ गुड थिंग. इफ सार्क becomes active and SAARC and BIMSTEC can work parallelly, because SAARC provides an opportunity, BIMSTEC provides an opportunity to SAARC members to connect with ASEAN, क्योंकि BIMSTEC के जो members हैं वो आपके ASEAN के भी कुछ members हैं, म्यांमार is there, थाईलैंड is there, है ना? तो अगर SAARC और BIMSTEC अगर parallelly चलते हैं, तो SAARC को it's a good platform to connect with ASEAN countries, ठीक है? तो that is one thing. ऊपर गया, समझ में आया? चलो. Now SAARC की बात करें तो why is SAARC not functional? Just very briefly, why SAARC is not, why it has become dormant? क्या हुआ SAARC में? Because now SAARC is again in news when Mr. Imran Khan, the new Prime Minister, is saying कि they will be using SAARC as a platform for developing the India-Pakistan relationship, है ना? Diplomacy के लिए they will be using it as a major platform. They are saying that. So we have to see. But anyways, what are the reasons? What are the issues why SAARC has been dormant for some time? SAARC जो है See, major issue is your India-Pakistan का rivalry. ठीक है, जो आपका what has happened is कि last SAARC summit भी cancel हुआ because of the series of attacks on India. So one of the reasons is your India-Pakistan rivalry. Second reason is there is a asymmetry between the members. Asymmetry means symmetrical membership and asymmetrical. Symmetrical means बराबर के and asymmetrical is एक बड़ा एक छोटा. तो India is a dominant power in SAARC. Be it your economic, polity, कोई भी आप power ले लो. Political power, India is dominant. कोई economic power, India is dominant. जो भी आप ले लो, ठीक है. So asymmetrical relationship. So what has happened is this asymmetrical relationship has given rise to big brother kind of label for India. उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो भी कर रहा है big brother because it has got lot of power and from all perspectives it is more powerful and it is trying to dominate. But it's not the reality, ठीक है. So one is your India-Pakistan rivalry. Second is your asymmetrical relationship amongst the member which has led to the image of India as a big brother. तो trust नहीं है, ठीक है. When you don't have trust तो वो group कैसे चलेगा. Apart from that, resource crunch. If you see the group, इंडिया पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमीज को छोड़ दो अगर आप, तो इसमें बाकी इकोनॉमीज देखो आप, नेपाल इज देयर, भूटान इज देयर, ठीक है. तो रिसोर्स क्रंच इज देयर एंड द कंट्रीज आर नॉट रेडी टू कंट्रीब्यूट आल्सो. दैट इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट. देन अनदर एस्पेक्ट इज कि सिंस सार्क हैज नॉट बीन वर्किंग प्रॉपर्ली, तो कंट्रीज हैव गॉन फॉर बायलैटरल रिलेशनशिप. Rather than using SAARC as a platform, now members are preferring bilateral relationship. And in this bilateral relationship, now China is also providing what SAARC could have provided to these countries. ठीक है, जो चीज़ की support चाहिए वो चाइना देने को खड़ा है वहाँ पे. तो वो bilateral पे ज़्यादा focus कर रहे हैं rather than on the SAARC, because India alone, India can take a major initiative, but you need, it is a democratic organization, so you need, it's a democratic platform, so you need all the countries to come together. It's not only that India's endeavors would work. ठीक है, तो India, one is your India-Pakistan rivalry, second is image of India as a big brother, ठीक है, rather than elder brother. Then countries are restoring to bilateral relationship because of the dormancy of SAARC. And इसमें क्या हुआ कि China has got a chance, opportunity to have relationship with these countries, and resource crunch is there and countries are not willing to contribute to the SAARC fund. So these are some of the major reasons, or other reasons तो छोटे-छोटे और निकलेंगे, but major issues are this SAARC is not working. So you might get a question SAARC कि if the SAARC is question like कि SAARC is not functioning well, what is the prospect of BIMSTEC, how it has performed over the past 20 years, क्योंकि 20 साल हुए last year, so 20 years, 50 years, something like 10 years, so there might be a question like what reasons of SAARC has led to more focus on BIMSTEC, ठीक है. Now this kind of essence of the question I am just saying कि you might get a comparison and then a question on BIMSTEC now. ठीक है, so major things we have done, like SAARC we have done, sorry, not SAARC completely, but yes, SAARC, BIMSTEC, neighborhood, countries in the neighborhood, and ASEAN we have done. So now let us talk about some of the major groups that have, like groups and their summits that have taken place in the last 1 year. One important is your, recent one is your SCO तो हमने चाइना में कर लिया था, BIMSTEC, sorry not BIMSTEC, BRICS. ठीक है, so this is current, so whatever is current we will be doing that only. So BRICS, another major group is your BRICS, and the recent one, the recent summit has happened in Johannesburg. ठीक है, तो BRICS का भी, when was BRICS formed? This was the 1 decade of BRICS. 2009 BRICS was formed. So there might be a question on BRICS its importance or its relevance or its analysis, how in the last 10 years, over a decade, BRICS has worked, and in the changing political scenario, okay, in the changing political scenario where US is withdrawing from many of the important organizations, do we find that BRICS can take the lead there? ठीक है, तो ब्रिक्स के साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम है, व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस इन ब्रिक्स, व्हाई ब्रिक्स वाज फॉर्म्ड? ब्रिक्स आपका कब बना था? 2009. सो इफ वी हैव टू एनालाइज ब्रिक्स, 2009 में we had BRIC and later on it became BRICS, है ना? 2009 में it was BRIC and 11 में when officially South Africa joined it, it became BRICS. So for the past 10 years, how has been the functioning of BRICS? कैसा रहा 10 years BRICS का? What do you think? Okay, first, what are the highlights of 2018 summit? जो करंट में अभी क्या क्या ब्रिक्स समिट हुआ, तो मेन क्या क्या चीज़ें सामने आई, व्हाट ऑल दे हैव डिस्कस्ड इन द ब्रिक्स समिट 2018, जो फाइनल समिट का जब आपका वो आता है, रिपोर्ट आता है, और व्हेन दे कम आउट विद द फाइनल थिंग्स, डिक्लेरेशन, सो व्हाट वर द मेजर थिंग्स दैट दे हैव डन इन ब्रिक्स? Because that will give you an idea कि 10 साल में किया क्या इन्होंने. How will you analyze? BRICS was formed in 2009. What has happened in 2008? Global financial crisis, where World Bank and IMF have not been successful in dealing with the global economic crisis. So, keeping that in mind, these countries, developing countries, especially your BRIC countries, realize that we need to look for an alternative, and that is how the BRIC came into picture. ठीक है, because they realized कि World Bank and IMF cannot take us too long. बिकॉज अभी 2008 का फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस को नहीं सॉल्व कर पाए, तो हम इन पे कैसे डिपेंडेंट हो सकते हैं? हाउ कैन वी बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन द your Bretton Woods twins who have not been successful in your checking the global financial crisis of 2008. So keeping this in the background, now we have to see how BRICS, because the major objective behind forming BRICS was this only, ठीक है, alternative ढूंढने का था. So 2009, where was the first summit of BRICS happened? It happened in Russia. It happened in Russia. So what were the major declarations in that particular summit? Was one declaration was to look for an alternatives, ठीक है, क्योंकि इनका कहना था कि जो भी आपके Bretton Woods twins हैं, वर्ल्ड बैंक, just listen to it, then I'll briefly dictate you the points also. The Bretton Woods twins जो आपके वर्ल्ड बैंक and IMF है, they have not been successful in checking the major financial global crisis. Second point is कि these institutions are not democratic because they are dominated by West, ठीक है, वेस्ट अब उनको डोमिनेट करता है, उनका इलेक्शन प्रोसेस, उनका नॉमिनेशन इज नॉट ट्रांसपेरेंट, ठीक है, इट्स नॉट फेवरिंग. सेकेंड थिंग इज ये जो डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज हैं, ऑल द डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज, द मेंबर्स ऑफ द ब्रिक्स, दे रिक्वायर्ड मोर फंडिंग, ठीक है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंटल ग्रोथ काफ़ी हो रही थी, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ काफ़ी हो रही थी. सो दे वर रिक्वायरिंग मोर फंड्स एंड विच वर्ल्ड बैंक एंड IMF वर नॉट एबल टू केटर टू, ठीक है, क्योंकि उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा हो गई, यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट आपकी ग्रोथ ज़्यादा हो रही है, डेवलपमेंट हो रही है, यू आर फंड हंग्री कंट्रीज एंड दीज कंट्रीज हैव वेरी स्ट्रिंजेंट old rules, regulations as per which they were not getting the sufficient fund. So it's better to go for it. Another thing that was declared in that first BRICS summit was your अबाउट योर सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, क्योंकि जो मेजर कंट्रीज थी आपकी जो सो कॉल्ड कंट्रीज लाइक यूएसए एंड यूरोप एंड ऑल, सो दे वर इन द नेम ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, उन्होंने रियो डिक्लेरेशन वगैरह पे उतना फोकस नहीं किया, दे वर मोर अबाउट देयर ओन प्रॉफिट अर्निंग, दो देयर हैव बीन मेनी ऑफ द environmental concerns discussed on various platforms, but they were more about their own profit earning. तो इन सब चीज़ों को बैकग्राउंड में रखते हुए तो उन्होंने फर्स्ट डिक्लेरेशन किया था. So just write few points. Number 1, reforming, first declaration, first summit, because we will what I am trying to do is BRICS के जो major summits हुए हैं उनमें क्या बात हुई है, and then we will analyze whether BRICS as an organization is successful till date or not, ठीक है, or it has kept to its promises or not. Number 1 is your BRICS summit, Russia. Number 1, emphasis on reforming international financial institutions, emphasis on reforming international financial institutions, making them more democratic, appointing their heads through open and transparent methods, appointing their heads through open and transparent methods, second is emphasis on implementation of Rio Declaration, emphasis on implementation of Rio Declaration for Sustainable Development, third, reforming of United Nations, UNSC, then collaboration on humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, etc. Then another last major point is your coordination on energy, security and stability. Coordination on energy, security and stability. Okay. So it talked about democratization of financial institutions. Okay. Then another major summit, second you write 2016 Goa summit. New Development Bank and CRA had become full-fledged agreements and organizations. Had become full-fledged agreements and organizations. The idea of New Development Bank was proposed by India in 2012 when the summit happened in New Delhi. Okay? Idea was proposed by India in 2012, but 16 May it has become full-fledged. Okay? We established in 15, but full-fledged आपकी organization and all. Okay? तो आपका 2016 it has happened. Then if you see New Development Bank gives equal opportunity to all the members. It's not like how much you have contributed in the इनिशियल फेजेस जो कि आपका वर्ल्ड बैंक में है, आपको कितना स्टेक्स मिलता है, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर कंट्रीब्यूशन, बट न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक गिव्स इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी टू ऑल द मेंबर्स. सो दिस शोज कि इन्होंने बोला था कि हमें डेमोक्रेटाइजेशन करना है, तो दे हैव स्टार्टेड अ like they have established new development bank which talks about democratization, है ना. डेमोक्रेटिक वही है कि जहाँ पे सबको इक्वल राइट है. वर्ल्ड बैंक IMF में क्या है कि जिसकी जितनी कंट्रीब्यूशन है उसको उसके हिसाब से उसको स्टेक होल्डिंग्स हैं, बट यहाँ पे एवरीवन इज गेटिंग इक्वल शेयर. So that is one thing that has fulfilled is your new development banks which give equal opportunity, which give equal representation and ownership to all the members and empowers the developing countries by reducing their dependence on major financial institutions like World Bank, IMF, etc. See, the main reason behind your BRICS was to reduce dependence on the West. ठीक है, वेस्ट के ऊपर डिपेंडेंस, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियली वो आपका एरियाज हो या अदर एरियाज हो, ठीक है, या अपकमिंग एरियाज हो. अभी भी ब्रिक्स का मेन मोटिव इज टू रिड्यूस डिपेंडेंस ऑन वेस्ट. सो व्हाट इज अनदर एरिया व्हिच वाज हाईलाइटेड इन योर गोवा समिट वाज पब्लिक हेल्थ. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज आपका अबोला का जब आउटब्रेक हुआ था, अबोला डिजीज, and WHO was not that successful in containing Ebola. ठीक है, तो BRICS ने कहा कि we also need to have another platform like financial area में we have अपना जो हमने न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक बना लिया, कंटिजेंसी रिजर्व अरेंजमेंट कर लिया, ठीक है, CRA वगैरह कर लिया. अब उसी तरह वर्ल्ड में और प्रॉब्लम्स आपकी हेल्थ इश्यूज हैं, तो आपका जैसे अबोला आउटब्रेक हुआ तो जिसमें WHO वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज बीन क्रिटिसाइज्ड कि इट हैज नॉट बीन दैट सक्सेसफुल इन कंटेनिंग इट. सो अगेन अनदर एरिया व्हिच वाज हाइलाइटेड वेयर ब्रिक्स वुड वर्क टुगेदर इज योर पब्लिक हेल्थ. तो एक और एरिया वो लेने लग गए जहाँ पे वेस्ट का आपका अभी तक प्रेजेंस रहा है, तो नाउ दे हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट that public health is another area where now they are focusing on. तो उन्होंने जो है आपके गोवा समिट में जो है 90 by 2020 जो आपका गोल है, that is UN AIDS का, means 90, I will dictate you, 90 by 2020 means by 2020 90% of the AIDS patient would be recognized and they would be getting the एंटी-रेट्रोवायरल मेडिसिन्स. तो इन्होंने, क्योंकि एड्स इज अनदर बिग प्रॉब्लम, तो WHO पे ही हम डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहेंगे, हम भी इस पे फोकस करेंगे सो दैट आवर डिपेंडेंसी ऑन हेल्थ सेक्टर आल्सो रिड्यूसेस ऑन द वेस्ट. सो राइट दिस पॉइंट. अनदर एरिया दैट हैज कम अप is public health. We are writing under the heading of Goa Summit. ठीक है, तो another area that has come up is your public health. Realizing the non-satisfactory performance of WHO. Realizing the non-satisfactory performance of WHO in containing Ebola outbreak. Ebola. बाद में देख लेना, फ्लो टूटता है. क्या लिखा है बता दो. नॉन सेटिस्फैक्ट्री परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ WHO in containing Ebola virus, Ebola outbreak. The countries have realized that they need to have their own institutions. ठीक है, the group has realized that they need to have their own institutions. And in Goa, BRICS reaffirmed to achieve (1990) HIV treatment target by 1990 HIV treatment target by 2020. ठीक है, 1990 HIV treatment target by 2020. Then another thing where West has dominance is your ICT, Information Communication and Technology. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे भी now in that area also now the BRICS countries are putting its efforts. ठीक है, BRICS countries are putting its efforts to break the hegemony of West in the field of ICT, Information Communication Technology. What is like the world is now talking about digital economy, the world is talking about artificial intelligence, 5G and वो सारी चीज़ें we are talking about. And all the major servers and all everything is, internet is dominated by West. So this is another area now where BRICS is focusing. तो आपका जो गोवा में समिट हुआ था वहाँ पे ICT के ऊपर भी बात हुई, ठीक है. ICT अगर आपको याद, अभी इफ़ यू आर कॉन्टिन्यूसली रीडिंग योर न्यूज़पेपर्स तो आपने पढ़ा होगा जोहान्सबर्ग में इंडिया हैज़ ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट योर 4th इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन. ठीक है, वो वहाँ तक अभी हम आएंगे. तो वी आर जस्ट सीइंग कि ब्रिक्स कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहा है, कैसे ग्रो कर रहा है. तो इट वॉज अर्लियर, इट वॉज इकोनॉमिक. फॉर एवरीथिंग फर्स्ट थिंग इज योर इकोनॉमी. इकोनॉमी हमने अपना थोड़ा सा डिपेंडेंस कम किया वेस्ट के ऊपर. नाउ फ्रॉम देयर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हेल्थ सेक्टर. देयर ऑल्सो द ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रेक द डोमिनेंस ऑफ दैट. एंड देन अनदर मेजर एरिया इज योर digital area, ICT technology, where West has the dominance. So now it is talking about, in Goa also they have talked about to do more research, R&D, collaboration, more focus on ICT. So another point you can write. With the growing importance of ICT, there was declaration on it made. There was a declaration on it, or declaration on ICT was made. On ICT for increasing technological R&D, cooperation, so that dependence of developing countries would reduce on the West. ठीक है. Now 2017, where was the summit? China, Xiamen. Xiamen summit. ठीक है. Here again further boost to your ICT was given, because future is your digital economy, everything, e-commerce is there, digital economy is there, digital, everything is going to be digital. So further focus, write the point, Xiamen summit, further focus on ICT, focusing on internationally applicable rules and laws, focusing on internationally applicable rules and laws, taking care of the needs of developing and underdeveloped countries. Then terrorism is another area where West says कि भैया it is our domain, है ना. World over terrorism से fight करना है तो in the name of democracy, in the name of R2P, है ना. What they are doing is they are attacking countries. So another area which was highlighted in Xiamen was your terrorism. The declaration at Xiamen talked about terrorism. It highlighted the issue of terrorism and it even named your Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, etc. ठीक है. Now you come to 2018. अच्छा, अगर आप देखो 2017 में जो आपकी summit had happened in China, China has also invited few other countries to participate. And अभी जो है आपका साउथ अफ्रीका में जो हुआ है वहाँ पे भी जो है समिट में अपार्ट फ्रॉम द ब्रिक्स मेंबर्स सम अदर कंट्रीज हैव आल्सो बीन इनवाइटेड. क्यों बुलाया? ताकि वो एक्सपेंशन, मतलब कि अगर if it has to expand, if it has to become a alternative or major power, then it also needs to expand. सिर्फ ये 3-4 countries से नहीं होगा, it needs to expand. So that is also side by side happening. This time also 5 countries were invited, last time also 5 countries were invited. So now you write about Johannesburg 2018 summit. Members have supported Iran on nuclear deal. Declaration के जो important points थे, members have supported Iran on nuclear deal because US is criticizing it, है ना. US ने कहा कि it is not happening, so sanctions on Iran, but solidarity was shown to Iran. ठीक है. आपका जो JCPOA Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, solidarity to Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action JCPOA has been shown there. Apart from that, there has been talks about fourth industrial revolution. Fourth industrial revolution. Because if you see, there has been phases of industrial revolution and now it is going to be the fourth industrial revolution. What is fourth? जहाँ पे आपका physical, आपका digital, आपका biological, all kind of technologies would come together. ठीक है. तो that is going to be a new area. So rather than only West dominating on it, now the BRICS has also started giving focus on fourth industrial revolution. So here also BRICS has talked about fourth industrial revolution. Then in this Johannesburg, BRICS has talked about democratization of the institutions and it has talked against protectionism. क्योंकि West is now, USA is talking about protectionism. So it is saying that there should be democracy, promotion of democracy, free trade, and against protectionism. It has been against protectionism. ठीक है. It is talking about democracy, it is talking about all those things. So this is basically your Johannesburg ka major thing. So if you see now, analyze BRICS. So in the last 10 years, the reason behind formation of BRICS was to find a better alternative for the developing countries where you have the democratic platform, where the voices of the developing countries and the growing economies would be heard. And so this, if you analyze from your summit 1 to the summit number अभी जो आपका हुआ है 2018 at Johannesburg, you will find that BRICS has survived and has been successful in and expanding also. इनिशियली इकोनॉमिक आया, इकोनॉमिक से पब्लिक हेल्थ में आया, पब्लिक हेल्थ से आईसीटी में आया, आईसीटी से नाउ इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट योर फोर्थ इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन विच इज गोइंग टू बी द फ्यूचर, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, योर ऑल काइंड ऑफ the new things that are coming up, everything is now the BRICS is taking up. So these, if you analyze, the BRICS has been a successful organization. Not like जैसे हमने बीमस्टेक की बात की, 20 साल में आधे टाइम तक तो उन्होंने अपना सेक्रेटेरिएट नहीं बनाया, but BRICS from the very beginning, it has 10 years में it has न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक, it has its पब्लिक हेल्थ के लिए है, it is focusing on expansion also, it is focusing on ICT also, it is focusing on fourth industrial revolution also. So BRICS has been a successful organization if we analyze in the past 10 years. So if we say that in the current political scenario where US is backing out from major institutions like जो है WTO में इट इज नॉन कोऑपरेटिंग, WHO से आ गया, यूनेस्को से आ गया वापस, तो डू वी थिंक दैट ब्रिक्स कैन टेक ओवर द रोल ऑफ USA देयर? क्या लगता है आपको? So what are the challenges currently in BRICS? है ना, टेक ओवर करने के लिए तो इनमें जो कमियां हैं उसको हटाना पड़ेगा. तो व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस इन? सो इफ यू सी द ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज, अभी जो है मेन फोकस ऑफ ब्रिक्स, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज टेकिंग अप न्यू एजेंडाज, बट स्टिल इट इज मेनली फोकसिंग ऑन डेवलपमेंटल असिस्टेंस एंड इकोनॉमिक फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस. सो इट नीड्स टू ब्रॉडन इट्स एजेंडाज. ठीक है, ले रहा है लेकिन उसको और ब्रॉड करने की जरूरत है. Then also it needs to make it a expanded group. 4-5 कंट्री का ग्रुप से नहीं होगा. It needs to go for expansion, है ना. एक्सपेंशन में अब क्या प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है? So if the new countries are included, some of the countries of the BRICS might have good relationship with that country, some might not have. The consensus building might be a problem in the expansion process. And then if you see among the BRICS countries, within BRICS countries also there are a lot of issues like India, Brazil, democracy, China, Russia, वहाँ पे आपका सिस्टम अपोजिट हो जाता है, political system is opposite. When the political systems are opposite, then decision making, consensus building becomes a problem. When we see the economies also, तो आप देखोगे ब्रिक्स इकोनॉमीज आर नॉट ग्रोइंग दैट फास्ट राइट नाउ. रशिया देख लो आप, ब्राज़ील देख लो, साउथ अफ्रीका देख लो, इट्स नॉट ग्रोइंग दैट फास्ट. देन इफ यू सी विद इन ब्रिक्स ऑल्सो देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम बिटवीन मेंबर्स. इंडिया चाइना का प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है. इंडिया रशिया में अब थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम आने लगी. रशिया इज नॉट हैविंग टू मच ऑफ ट्रस्ट ऑन चाइना, दो दे आर कमिंग टुगेदर, बट स्टिल रशिया is not 100% depending on China also. So within members also that is a problem. Within BRICS countries if you see corruption का problem है. South Africa, be it Brazil, be it Russia, be it China, of course they are trying to work it out. ठीक है, तो if you see within BRICS also there are certain challenges. If it has to take a wider role globally, it needs to expand. It needs to expand its agendas, it needs to expand its membership, and it also needs to bring its own house in order. Means जो अपने members के बीच में problems हैं उनको resolve करने की ज़रूरत है, trust building की ज़रूरत है इन countries में, ठीक है, economies को जो है ग्रो कराने की ज़रूरत है, एंड इसके अलावा जो है आपके जो करप्शन एंड जो आपकी पॉलिटिकल इश्यूज हैं दैट नीड्स टू बी टेकल्ड. सो ब्रिक्स टिल डेट हैज़ बीन अ सक्सेसफुल प्लेटफॉर्म. It has been a successful platform. Whatever it has talked about, it is delivering on that. But yes, there are certain challenges which needs to be overcome so that BRICS can fulfill the purpose for which it has been established. ठीक है, तो BRICS पे अगर आता है तो I think you would be able to write something